Okay guys, in this video, I am going to cover your key support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. We're actually going to cover gold and ADA. Someone asked me to bring up my gold chart, so I was going to do that in this video. And you know me guys, I never ask, I never beg for likes and subscribers. So I figured the best way to get people to subscribe is just to bribe you guys. So if you leave a comment, subscribe, and like, I'm going to be giving away 2 of these 1-ounce silver coins. It's made in 2022. These are actually collector's items now because you cannot buy them anymore. They're not making them anymore, and that's probably because I bought most of them. So I have plenty to give away. But again, like, comment, subscribe. In this video, in the following video, I will pick the 2 winners for these silver coins. So if you want to do that, go ahead. So let's cover a few things, guys. Before we do that, as always, guys, if you're located in the U.S. looking for exchange to trade on, CoinCatch is a great option. You do not need, there's no KYC, and in some states you do not need a VPN. 2 other exchanges I use are BitGet and BingX. Those links, if you want to sign up, are in the first comment description. This is a video I put up teaching you how to trade on BitGet, how to open a short, a long, set a stop loss, touch your stop loss, trigger orders, all that. If you want to watch this video, I'll put a link up to it now. 2 videos back, I told you guys an ideal point short was around 45,800 down to this ring. I'll put a link to this video now if you want to check it out. The last video I put up, this was 2 days ago. I said Bitcoin's dropping to ring as predicted, and I said in this video, go back and watch it. I'll put a link up to it now. I said your point too long was 42,020 up to 44,700. That'd be the point you short, and you can see how this played out. Right here, we pushed right up to 42,020, got a bounce, and we got rejected right at 44,700. Take note, we came down, found perfect support here and perfect support here. In the Discord, I was telling everyone how to play this. Again, guys, if you want to sign up, get access to these live charts in Discord, you can do that on my website. Just sign up, and if you do, make sure you email me through the website. I will send you an invite link for Discord. But I was showing how to play this. Second resistance level hit and it said pay attention to H1 chart. But just like I said in the previous video, I said if we push up, this is a point to watch to get rejected, 44,776. And I said your support level now is 44,200. If that becomes resistance, back down we go. So we hit our resistance level. This became our support. This is talking about the H1 chart. Once that becomes resistance, down we go. And you can see we dropped from that point. And we found perfect support on this line. And I made a post here. Too many lines or just enough? And just take note, guys. If you go back and watch previous videos, this is when I told you to long. This is when I told you to short. Remember, I said long, we get down to the orange ring. We pushed up. This is where the last video said too long, right here at 42,020. We pushed up from that point to the tick. We got rejected at 47,800. We came down, and then you notice this was the point to short, 44,323. And look at that. We came down and got almost a perfect bounce on this point. So the charts are on point. They do work. I do have charts for other coins. I will be updating the altcoin charts soon. I will show you the ADA chart, how that played out. You can kind of get a zoomed out version of it. This is, and I've shown you this before, guys. This is the BitStamp 3.0 chart. Just want to show you how this played out. It was published on October 29th, 2023. If I hit play, you can see how this played out. Remember, this is a ring where I thought would be a top, but I did say once we cross it to go long, and you can see how this played out. And this is what I was talking about. Remember, I said that this was a pattern we were in, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. So once we broke up from this pattern, it's possible that this could be our resistance, and that's how it played out. So this was your point to short, this was your point to long, and this is your point to short, and this will be your point to long. Now, when I cover the bullish and the bearish case, it just depends on this orange ring, all right? Now, we could keep bouncing up this ring, going higher and higher and higher. That is a possibility. Once we cross it, that is when you know the trajectory is going to change. So this is the one-day version, just to show you this, as I pointed out in that last video, that this was your point to short around 44,700. So now your most key resistance right now, and this daily candle is around 44,700 to potentially 44,800. Your most key support level below, all right, is going to be down around 42,088 to potentially, that will be very strong support, 42,135. Obviously, if that breaks, your next support level to catch a bounce will be around 41,016. This is a few days out, a couple days out, but that means we've already broken down past this orange ring. And again, like I said, once that happens, expect a lot of downside. That being said, this orange ring can be support to push us up. And I'm going to show you this on the D1 chart and just show you your upside targets, because we could just continue to bounce off this ring. If indices continue pushing up, that is a possibility. I just know that when we cross this ring, historically, we get a drop. I'm going to show you that. And so this is a D1 chart. I'm zoomed out. And I made a post in Discord about this. I want you guys to be careful. Some people in Discord are saying, oh, as soon as we cross this orange ring, I'm going to go on a heavy short with 100x. I would not advise that. And the reason I say this, now back here, this was back on the 20th of April 2022. Now, I did say, and this is why I've been saying every time we hit the ring to go long, and we've pretty much hit it. So we've already caught a bounce. But back here, you can see we found support. We hit it, we bounced up, we came back down, it became support again, then we finally broke it, and then we dropped. So when we crossed the ring that time, I mean, we pretty much just came straight down. That was about a 56% drop. The next time, look, we found support. That's why I said here, I said when you make contact over here to go long. We pretty much hit it, we got a bounce. How high we go, we'll have to see. But if anyone had shorted when we crossed, like, so we crossed right here, right? So if you would have shorted, you would have been in profit, but price did come back, tested as resistance. We pushed up some more before we had a drop. So when we actually crossed this orange ring, it was about a 22% drop. So what I'm saying is be cautious. Even when we cross this orange ring, it does not mean we have to drop immediately. You can see what happened here. It took days to play out. Right? These are daily candles. This took days and days and days and days before we dropped. When we crossed here, we actually pushed up for days and days. This actually went on for weeks before we had that drop. Now, we don't know how this will play out, if and when we'll get across it eventually, but you can see this is a curve that goes up, so we could push up the ring. So what I'm saying is be cautious how you play this, and this is also for members of Discord as well. What I would do is, yes, when we cross this ring on the daily, maybe after 1 or 2 days we cross this ring, that would be confirmation for me that we cross it and we could have some downside. That does not mean we cannot push up. So my advice, whatever leverage you use to short it, that's on you, but I would use less margin. So if it does push up, you could long hedge, or you could hop out, but you'll have less of a loss. But at the point, let's say this is just saying this is a possibility. So let's say that we push up, let's say we make contact with it, we push up, we cross it, all right? People are expecting us to start dropping. We could drop, we could push back up, something like this could happen. So what I'm saying is use less margin so you're not losing as much, and then as price starts dropping and we get that confirmation, then start adding more to your short as we start dropping. Again, I do expect price to drop when we cross it. We just don't know how fast it'll drop or how long price will be out past this ring before, but we do know that once we cross this ring, the trajectory will change to the downside. That being said, it is also possible we could just keep bouncing up this ring. And I can tell you this, if you watch the previous videos, I told you that 45K was your most key resistance level above. We did get some wicks above, but you can see immediately the candle was below this point. So your most key resistance right now is around 45,000. Now let's say that we do not cross this ring. Let's just say we just keep bouncing up it, right? We do something like this and we push above this point. Well, then your next resistance level will be up here, all right? And that level that's around 48,500, all right? And if we continue higher, if we push above this and hold support, we could push all the way up to here, and that next key resistance level would be up around 54,000. And you can go back and you can see why the way I had these horizontal was basically just a fib retracement. So you can see why this would be a key level. There's a lot of support and resistance through this point right here, and you can see that is right at 54,000. I'm not saying we're going that high. I'm just telling you we have a roadmap. We know that as long as we are before this orange ring, you might as well stay long. That also depends on where you entered. If you entered from way down here and you're long, hey, keep that long open. But at any point we cross this orange ring, historically, that's when we have a lot of downside. How far down we go, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I just want you to have your most key resistance levels above just in case we do continue up. But again, just timing-wise, where we're currently at now, to make contact with this ring at current price is about 4 days. So if we stayed at this price and went sideways, we would officially cross this ring in about 7 days. That being said, if price pushes up to, let's say 48,000, is going to take 21 days to cross that ring. So again, we need to pay attention to when we cross. As long as we're before the ring, I would stay bullish. I'll give you key support resistance levels. But I'm just trying to make you understand, at least we have a roadmap to know what's going to happen. Just like these blue rings, all right? Just like this ring down here. I knew that when we cross this ring, historically, every time we cross one of these blue rings, we get a pump. And you can see what happened. We did push up, we had a drop. Now, if you're using high leverage and high margin, you know, these small moves can be a hell of a loss. It can be, you know, you can get a lot of gains as well. But notice it took days and days and days and days for it to play out. Then it finally pushed up, all right? Because every time we cross one of these blue rings, we always get a pump. Just like every time we cross one of these orange rings, we eventually start dropping. And that's how I knew with this blue ring over here that once we crossed it, you could expect us to push up. Now this one played out great. We didn't have to wait days and days. After it became support, just a couple days later, we shot straight up. So I'm just letting you know how these rings work, but be careful. I would not just go short directly after we cross it. And if you do, just use lower margin so you're not losing as much if we push up, and then as we start dropping, add to that short. But based on this fib channel, the way I created it, those are your most key resistance levels above. This is the Dow Jones chart. I talked about this in previous videos. Now, if you'll take note, I told you that it's very possible. I said once we cross this curve, you can see this curve I have right here for the Dow. So once we cross it, it's very possible we could drop from here, and we are dropping. And remember, Bitcoin does follow the indices. Sometimes it could take a while, but we seem to be topped out with the Dow. And if this does play out, as I've shown here previously, this red ring, we did cross it, we found support on it, we pushed up, we tested our previous resistance. This resistance right here, resistance right here. We did come down, we pushed up, we tested it one more time, and then that was the start of our bear market. These rings are just indicators for a move. Notice we crossed this ring here, we pushed up. Now the question is this the top, this yellow line right here? Will we do something like this, maybe come down, people get bearish, it pushes up, tests it one more time, and then we start dropping? That is possible. If we get above 37,592 for the Dow, your next resistance is going to be up here on 38,658. So we need to pay attention to see what happens. If this ends up being a top, we could come back up, test it again, then pretty much we're topped, we're coming down. You can expect that to play out perfectly with that orange ring. If we do push up higher, so we get above 37,600 on the Dow, we push up to 38,658, then we could push higher. That's what I'm saying. We could maybe push up to 48,396. But together, using the indices, and remember the indices move together, I just have the Dow charted pretty much to a T, so we know where those levels are. But what I'm saying is, yes, we could push up as long as before this orange ring stay bullish. But once we cross this ring, wherever it's at, whether we cross it here, whether we cross it here, that is when you know things change. And again, the Dow is looking very toppy. We already are getting rejected from this point. If you do play the indices, the next point to open I guess a call. So when you short the options, it's called a put, and when you long, when you short, it's a put, and when you long, it's a call. So your next support level below is 36,920, and your next support level below that is 36,067. If we get that low, I think we're going a hell of a lot lower. But I just want you to pay attention that we just broke this support. You see this curve, we've just been bouncing up, right? Support, 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 support. We finally broke it. So that means your trajectory could have changed. And just based on this ring, all right, it's just an indicator that something major is about to happen. You can see that right here. We crossed the ring, we tested resistance, and then the bear market started. When we pushed up, this could be the point where we got rejected, that we could come back up and test it and start coming down, or your next point above is around 38,658. So again, indices do look toppy. Bitcoin historically does follow the stock market, so pay attention to that. This is another chart I created. This is on the monthly. This is pretty much how I create all my charts. But I would just like to point out this fib channel line, and this chart goes all the way back to what, 96. And you can see how price is respecting all of these fib channel lines in here. And if I take the time to map out the direction of price, and you can see, back here it was resistance, support, resistance, support, 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 support. You push up to the next one, right? And you can see this was resistance, resistance, resistance. Once it became support, we pushed up. I'd just like to point out that we are right at a key resistance level getting rejected, all right? Right here around 38,495, and that's right on par with this level I gave you in previous videos. So do pay attention to the indices. If we see some downside for the indices, Bitcoin's going to follow suit. This is the gold chart. I've created this. This was Created this, I guess this is back on March 2023, or maybe I updated it on that day. But I do want to just give you these levels. Now, a lot of these charts, I need to go and update, add more fib channels. Now, with these charts, you know, I create the chart, I leave the chart the way it is, and as price moves along, when I need more fib channels or more fib circles, I add to the charts. This is for altcoins, Bitcoin charts, everything. But I just want to give you some levels. Take note that the way this fib channel is set up, and this was created a long time ago. But you can see price pushed up. We got rejected this fib channel line. This is gold, by the way. We got rejected 20,065. Notice we came down, we found support on this ring and this support level at 1,614. Notice we got rejected at this ring. Now this is the great thing about rings. You can get a rejection. Like right down here, we hit this fib channel line, we got a rejection, right? But notice we hit this fib channel line close to a ring, we got a major rejection. Notice this became support. We pushed up, this fib channel line became resistance. So this resistance, right? So this resistance right here at 2060, well, that flipped as support, right? We came down and we tested it. It was resistance again here, but it became support at $1,980. We're also respecting these lines at this angle here. So if you're looking for, if you play gold, I'm just going to give you these targets. It's up to you. Right now, your support is around $2,020. Notice this is on the daily, we got rejected the top Bollinger Band, right? So if we come down and we look at our target just below, well, we have a lower Bollinger Band right down here. You have this red fib channel line in this direction that's been support, and you have this fib channel line here that's been resistance. So that would be a key support level. So you would chance along around 2020. If that breaks, an ideal point to go long on gold would be around 1,175. If we push up and you look for a point too short, well, we know this line up here is going to be a lot of resistance. And again, what I say with these charts is always just look left. You can see that this line right here has been a lot of support and resistance, all right? So that's one resistance level, and you have your next fib channel line above, right? Just like this fib channel line right here, right? It was resistance and flipped as support. So if we push up, I think a likely point to short, and we could push up, if we push up, you know, right now, you're looking at 2,137, but I think an ideal point, if we kind of go sideways and up, ideal point to short gold would be around 2,163. And again, all of your support resistance levels are below, but the best thing to do is just zoom out of the chart and look left. See how previous lines have been respected as support resistance, and that gives you an idea where to long and short, plus use the Bollinger Band. Because if we push up, or for instance, if we push up here, see that the top of the Bollinger Band was at our resistance level in this direction. So that's a lot of resistance to potentially short. And that's why I'm saying 1,175 would be a great point too long, because that's the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and you've got two fib channel lines that intersect at this point. So 1,175, great point too long. Not to mention, take note that the RSI is way oversold. The MACD, well, it could go either way. Just wanted to show you that. ADA, I created this chart a long time ago, and this is how it was showing potential ways to create charts with less data. So basically, this is just a channel, right? We knew that this was a top, right? So that gave us our top here, and that gave us our bottom here, and that gave us a point too long here. And if you watch those previous videos, I mentioned this level right here. If you go, and like I said, always just look left. Notice that this was support, right? This was support. It became some more resistance, support. It became resistance again, and that's how we knew that this is a point to short. In that video a while back, I talked about ADA. I said your point to short was right here around 65 cents. It's been a great short. Now, you could potentially long right now. We're at another level. Like I said, these fib channels are set up a certain way, so we know where these targets are in advance. We know that this has been a lot of support, perfect resistance right here. Right, again, this is ADA. So this might be a point to go long with ADA. All right, so right here is at pretty much, what, 51 cents? So that'll be a point to open along if we break below. So if 51 cents becomes resistance, well, your next key support level below is going to be all the way down here around, depending when we make contact, potentially 30 cents. If we push up from here, well, we know that 69 cents is going to be a lot of resistance. But you know for a fact, again, when you have multiple fib channels, intersecting, that is what I call double resistance. So if we push up from here, a great point to short ADA would be around 71 cents. Just showing you how to play those charts. So I hope that covers everything, guys. Again, if you do want to win one of these coins, there'll be 2 winners. So all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe. In the next video, I will pick those 2 coin winners. I'll do one of those random comment selectors. But again, it's a 1 ounce silver Bitcoin coin. It was 2022. Again, you can't buy these anymore. They're sold out. So I'll pick those winners in the next video. Guys, if you do want to sign up, get access to the charts and Discord, the website's opticrypto.com. Links pinned in the first comment description. Make sure you email me through the website if you want to get access to Discord. And if you do want to pay with USDT or USDC, you can, but you need to email me through the website. And again, if you want to get, if you're in the US, looking for an exchange to trade on, CoinCatch is a great option. No KYC. Some states do not need a VPN. 2 other exchanges are BitGet and BingX. All those links are signed up to pinned in the first comment description. Now, let me give you key support resistance levels. So right now, you can see your support level, your most key support level on the Bitstamp 3.0 chart. Right below is 42,557. Your most critical key support level now is 42,134, and that ring just below is around 41,814. So a lot of support between 41,800 to 42,000. Your current resistance to pay attention to right now is 44,313. Your most key, now this is a very strong resistance level, 44,773. However, if we get above that, this is your strongest resistance on this chart, 46,000, depending when you make contact. Let me go through these other charts and make sure. So this is the same chart. This is just on the daily. So you can see this right here, right? So this is right around, depending when you make contact, 46,097. Most key support, 42,150. Keep that in mind. That would be the next daily candle. But once we break this ring, once we go past it, doesn't expect a lot of downside. We will catch bounces on the way down. Like this is a strong support level. This is probably a week out, maybe a week and a half, 40,468. We could push back up, get rejected, come back down. But again, I'm just waiting to see when we cross this ring. As long as we're before it, if you're long from below, stay bullish. But once we cross it, guys, that's when you need to get out. And I'm talking about getting out of everything. Altcoins, stocks, Bitcoin, because that's when the trajectory changes. And typically, if Bitcoin's going to be dropping, it's because something major happened with the indices and other markets. Let me go through, and I gave you your key levels above, just in case we continue up this ring. But again, your major support level, as I showed you, is right. This is the same support level here. Let me duplicate this right here. So this is pretty much, yeah, right at 42,200. So expect that to be a critical support level to catch a nice bounce. But if we drop down to this point and we cross it, then expect a lot of downside. But guys, I think that's pretty much it. Until the next video, stay safe, stay smart. I'm out.